Hey guys, Merry Christmas Eve. I want to do a live today and talk about just some strategies that you can use to grow your business for 2020. I want to tell you one story about that one Christmas Eve that I was completely and utterly flat broke and how I was able to actually overcome that. But welcome. If you are new to me, go ahead, hit the subscribe button if you like my content. My name is Krista. I am an enrolled agent by the Internal Revenue Service, and I help tax professionals, bookkeepers, accountants, CPAs, and financial coaches grow multi six figure businesses using social media. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you aren't subscribed to me already, make sure that you stay in connection with me. And also, if you're catching this in a replay, go ahead, drop what are you doing today? Where are you viewing from? And if you're watching this live, hello, what are you doing on this Christmas Eve? All right, so let's talk about that one time I was broke, right, on Christmas Eve. And guys, I'm pretty transparent at this point in my life where I told you a lot of different stories on the mistakes that I made when it came to like my marketing strategies with my business, some of the mistakes that I made when it came to the actual handling of my money when I was receiving it. And so I remember very vividly, it was about 2 years ago on Christmas Eve. So I think that could have been like 2017, Christmas Eve going into 2018. I remember just because of my mismanagement of money and the fact that I didn't really have a cohesive marketing strategy at that point in time. I remember very vividly sitting there on Christmas Eve 2 years ago today, and I was sitting there broke, right? And I was sitting there depressed, kind of, because I really still don't consider myself like a depressed person, but that really did get to me and I was sad. And I remember going to my children's father. I have two children, a boy and a girl, and they have an amazing father. And I remember calling him up and telling him that it would be better for him to keep the kids that Christmas because we alternate our holidays, right? So every other Christmas, the kids get to wake up with me, and then the next year they get to wake up with him, and vice versa, right? So this was the year that the kids were supposed to wake up with me, right? They were supposed to wake up. We were supposed to open up gifts, have breakfast, and the whole little shebang, right? But I was so sad. I was so depressed because I did not have any money to buy them Christmas gifts. Right. And I remember sitting at the kitchen table just with my head down crying because I'm like, how did I get, like, how is this life right now? Like, have you ever been in a situation where you were like, how is this life? Right. Like what's going on right now? Like, what is God trying to tell me in this situation? Right. And I remember even then, even though I knew that that was a hard time for me, even though I knew that, I didn't have any resources, any money to spend on my children, I was still grateful for all the things that I did have, right? I wasn't homeless. I had shelter, I had food. My kids were happy and healthy. They had a great, father. They have a great father. So we have a great co-parenting relationship. So he was completely understandable. He was just like, well, if you need some money, I can give you some. You can go get the kids something from the dollar store or something from Family Dollar. I don't know wherever you're viewing from, but I don't know if you have those Family Dollar stores where you can go in and stuff is like, it's like $1 to $5, $10, $15 for these items in the store. Very affordable, by the way, if you want to get some Christmas gifts for kids, because most times they tear those toys up anyway. But that's another story. So I was just grateful that I had support, right? That I had a support system to go to, but it still didn't negate the fact that I was in that position. It still didn't negate the fact that I didn't have any money to spend like I wanted to spend on them, right? And so one thing that I really want to tell you guys, if you are in this situation right now in your life, is one, the amount of money that you have, the amount of gifts that you can buy your children is not an indicator on how great of a parent you are, right? Is not an indicator on how well you are doing as a parent, right? Because you love your children no matter what. So right now, I just want to leave you with the message that if you are in a position right now where you can't afford to really buy the things that you want to buy for your kids, give them the type of experience that you want to give them, go back to what you do have. What you do have is life and health, right? And that in itself is your wealth, right? The fact that you're able to hug on your kids, to love on your kids, that is wealth. So here's what I did 2 years ago, lad. 2 years ago this time. the very next day, the kids did stay with their father that night so they can wake up to all of their presents over his house, right? But I still picked up my kids after they opened up their toys with him, and I picked them up and I took them snow sledding, right? So I ended up buying like a $10 little plastic little snow sleds from the dollar store, and we went to the park and we snow sledded for like an hour or two. It was really cold that day, by the way. But we bundled up with our snowsuits on, we put our hat, our gloves, and we got on the top of the mountain and we slid down a few times, and they had an absolute blast, right? And then we went back to the house and I was able to make them, some little pancakes, or I don't remember what I made, but I made them some snacks, right? And I just remember being so grateful just to be able to just have that experience, because when I talk to my kids now, even though situations have changed, right? Their most fondest memories of us and of our time together is always when I took them to the park. And every time I was broke, I always took them to the park. I'm like, okay, we don't have money to, go live it up. We don't have money to, to buy the finer things in life, but I always was conscious of just spending quality focused attention with them. So we go to the park almost every day in the summertime, right? We would just take hikes and trails. And honestly, if you ask my children now, those are some of their most happiest times. I'm like, y'all didn't really appreciate Kalahari, right? When we went out to Disney World, they're like, yeah. Like that stuff was fun too, but we really like the hikes, like these trails that we were exploring, right? I would create games, like these little scenarios that we were exploring. We were looking for something, right? And so I just want you to use what you have, use the fact that you are alive, that you're breathing, that you're here. And I always say that gratitude is one of the highest forms of prayer, right? So whatever your spirituality is, I'm really not here to talk about like Christian or Muslim or Buddhist or whatever. I'm just talking about something bigger than ourselves, right? When you can express gratitude for what you currently have, even if you feel that what you have is not much, right? But if you can learn to always, in times of hardship, in times of where, money and resources is lacking, if you can just learn to look at, well, what do I have? What can I be grateful for? You will start to feel and see your life transition. You will start to feel the shift, right? Even on the inside, right? Because that's where it starts at. It starts with who you are as a person and you being happy and content with the things that you just have, right? In this current moment. So that was my Christmas Eve broke story. And this is how I was able to systematically transition. Is one, I always knew that any terrible situation that I was in, whether it was lack of money, lack of resources, lack of knowledge, whether I was homeless or couldn't pay my gas bill or my light bill, I always knew in the back of my mind that it was temporary. Right? I always knew in the back of my mind that it was temporary. And someone asked me a really great question. They was like, Krista, like, how did you persevere? How did you keep going when everybody else quit? And I always, I had to sit there and think about that. I'm like, that's a really great question. Like, what kept me going? Like, what kept me going when things weren't looking right, when things were bleak, when I was broke? And the thing that kept me going through all of my hardship was I knew that it was temporary. So right now, if you're going through a situation, if you're going through lack of resources, or if you just want better for your life, just know that, yeah, this is temporary. Be grateful for what you do have. Be grateful, express gratitude, write it down. I am grateful for, my mind, my body. I'm grateful for my ability to take care of my kids. I'm grateful that the fact that I get to hug them and love on them, right? That I get to communicate with them. I get to hear them and see them. So try to be in a state of gratitude. And that's where you're going to start to attract more abundance in your life. And then second step is know that it's only temporary, right? Hardships and lack of resources, it's temporary, guys. It's temporary. So just know that and keep that on your side to know that whatever you're going through, there is a much, greater version of yourself that's just waiting to manifest itself. Okay. So right now, I am, rounding out 2020. So I told you guys yesterday that I'm going to be committed to going live every day until the end of 2019. And what I want to just come to you is tell you about a mistake or tell you about a hardship or just tell you something so you can actually learn from my mistakes. You can actually learn from what I've experienced. So go back, watch yesterday's video. Today's video is just know that, if you are in a position that is only temporary, to express gratitude, but to also, if you do want to change your situation, if most entrepreneurs situation is a lack of money, right? It's like cash flow at some capacity, right? It's because they lack a cohesive marketing strategy to generate leads and customers, or they lack a complete system to handle the leads and customers that they do get, whatever the case may be, or they could lack the knowledge and the fortitude to actually handle their financial situation. They lack the cash management acumen that they need to actually persevere, right? So if you fall into one of these three categories, I am creating a mastermind. It's my millionaire mastermind that we're launching in 2020, where I'm only going to be working with a very intimate group of people. And what I want to do, I want to take you from wherever you are. You have to already have been in business and making money, but take you from wherever you are to building a multiple six-figure business. So the goal of this millionaire mastermind is to get you to a point where you're at least minimally making about $30,000 per month, right? Obviously, to get you to $50,000 or $80,000, that will put you at $500,000 to $1 million in revenue. This is the goal of this millionaire mastermind that we're launching in 2020. So it's a high touch, it's a high capacity program where I'm going to work with you directly and help you grow your business to this level, because I want you guys to experience all the things that I've been experiencing over the past 12 months, where I literally went from, my lowest, darkest times to experiencing some of the best times of my life, to being the most happiest that I've ever been in my life. And even before I got this big house, even before, I got the Mercedes and whatever the case may be, I still was happy on this journey. So the second part of us working together is just your mindset and your habits. Because what I've learned, especially over the last 12 months, is that if you lack the marketing habit, if you lack the skill habit and the operational habit that's going to actually keep your business sustained, you can't just go off of just Facebook ads, right? Like your business, your problem is not just the ad campaign problem, right? So when you look at cohesively on becoming a millionaire and actually building a multi-million-dollar business, it all starts with the value that you bring. It all starts with the systems and processes that you have in place and the people that you have to help you to facilitate that type of growth. Because honestly, and I had to learn this the hard way, guys, you cannot scale to the level that you desire, which is typically multi-millions, at least over 1 million, doing this by yourself, right? You do have to have those people, processes, and systems in place in order for you to really reach the level that you desire. So right now we are consistently bringing in, well over $30,000 a month, $50,000 a month right now in our business. And I want to show you how I did this. I want to show you how systematically the step-by-step processes that I use to grow my business to $50,000 per month and to be on track to earn over $1 million in revenue in 2020. So I always like to say this, is that it's one of my favorite old school and 90s songs where it goes, "It ain't no fun if the homies can't have none," right? So I want to bring you guys along this journey. I want you guys to experience the type of lifestyle that you've always dreamed about. You've sat there, you've dreamt about having the big house, having the nice car, taking the vacations. You dreamt about being able to give your children the best lifestyle, the best schooling, the best education possible. You dreamt about having, the best health care, right? To make sure that your body and mind is taken care of, to be, wanting to go to the gym and take care of your body. Whatever your dreams are, you've dreamt about it. Now you just need the systematic plan to get there. And I want to help you out with that. So all you have to do is super easy for us to get in contact with each other. Go ahead, send me a message. If you're watching this on like Facebook or Instagram, send me a message with your email and the word mastermind, so I know that you're inquiring about the mastermind. If by chance you're watching this on YouTube, I'm going to go ahead and drop my email below. directly. So you can go ahead and email me directly and just send me your send me the word mastermind to my email, and then I'll respond back to you guys with the details on how you can become a part of this program. So I just want to say hi to everybody. Hey Gina, hey Jonathan, hey guys, happy holidays. If you have any questions after I end this video, go ahead and pop them down below. I definitely like to respond to all of the questions or comments that you guys leave. But I love you guys. Have a wonderful Christmas Eve, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.